This week, the global Sumud Flotilla, a convoy of 43 ships, set sail for Gaza, aiming to break Israel's long-standing naval blockade. Their mission: deliver humanitarian aid directly to Gaza and challenge the blockade's legality. Sumud means steadfastness in Arabic, reflecting both Palestinian resilience and the activists' resolve. The fleet, loaded with medical supplies, food, and educational materials, was the result of months of international coordination. Organizers hoped the flotilla's size and global attention would force a new conversation about humanitarian access. The voyage came as Israel tightened its siege on Gaza, further restricting movement and aid. For the activists, this was a necessary act to spotlight the worsening crisis and demand change. On board were activists from around the world, including Greta Thunberg, whose presence drew global media attention. The flotilla united parliamentarians, human rights lawyers, journalists, and grassroots organizers from dozens of countries. Their diversity underscored a broad international opposition to the blockade. Many had witnessed Gaza's conditions firsthand. Others were compelled by a sense of moral duty. Despite risks, they believed the mission's potential to deliver aid and raise awareness outweighed personal danger. Among them were 2 Colombian women, whose later detention would spark diplomatic fallout. The passengers' stories transformed the flotilla into a symbol of global solidarity. Their collective action sent a message: the world is watching, and ordinary people can challenge injustice. In the early hours of October 2nd, the flotilla was intercepted by the Israeli Navy in international waters. 13 ships were boarded and commandeered after activists refused to reroute to an Israeli port for inspection. Israel called the operation safe and professional, insisting the blockade was legal and necessary for security. Activists described the interception as aggression and a violation of international law. Communication with the seized ships was cut, and high-profile detainees, including Thunberg, were quickly processed. The aid was confiscated, with Israel insisting it must be inspected before any transfer to Gaza. The fate of the supplies remains uncertain, fueling further controversy. The confrontation became a global flashpoint, with both sides vying to control the narrative. Israel defends the blockade as a security measure to prevent weapons from reaching Hamas, framing the flotilla as a political provocation. Officials argue sufficient aid enters Gaza through approved crossings, and the interception was lawful. Activists counter that the blockade is collective punishment, violating international law and worsening Gaza's humanitarian crisis. They insist their mission was peaceful civil disobedience, not provocation. For the flotilla, the goal was not just aid delivery, but asserting Gaza's right to open access to the world. The incident deepened divisions, with each side accusing the other of undermining human rights and security. The debate over the blockade's legitimacy and humanitarian impact remains unresolved. The interception triggered immediate diplomatic fallout, most notably Colombia expelling Israel's diplomats after 2 of its citizens were detained. Ireland and other nations voiced concern, highlighting growing frustration with the blockade's human cost. The incident exposed widening rifts between Israel and parts of the international community. Greta Thunberg's detention amplified the story, forcing a global reckoning over humanitarian intervention and international law. The event raised urgent questions. Where is the line between security and collective punishment? Who decides? The Sumud flotilla's journey became a symbol of the ongoing struggle for justice and dignity in Gaza. Whether it sparks real change or fades into history, it has forced the world to confront the crisis anew. For now, the blockade and the debate endures.